Alafia. I'm Philip John Neibart, the founder of the IFA Foundation International, and I'd like to welcome you to the first iteration of the weekly Ifascope for the year 2014. I tell you, once in a while it boggles my mind. I mean, the years go by, and I've been doing this for almost 30-some years, the Ifascope, and working with Ifa for almost 40 years. And suddenly it's next year. And frankly, with what was going on, the posting of the 2014 year's reading, attempt to get the explanation out there of how people's bows could maximize themselves working as individual pieces in the bows, and then hooking into the sacred Ifa gardens, so that there was a multiplication of the power and the energy, and moreover, it's a kind of a dock which goes with it, so that they can do it either way. It just was a whole bunch of things, and suddenly I opened my eyes and wow, it's Wednesday. So when you have a holiday in the earlier mid part of the week, and you have the year's reading, that gets a little bit confusing. So the Odu for the week is Ed Irete. Ed is a sign that's often confused, particularly by, frankly, foundation members who've been taught that Ed in bad fortune is often an indication of pressures unresolved, or people don't know how to deal with. And so they fall into that habit of always viewing Ed in that sense. But Ed is not in that sense. Ed is the quintessential embodiment of all of the Oshun traits. It's about joy, happiness, excuse me, curiosity, all of these things, money, family. It's the whole joyous experience of Oshun. And on the emotional spiritual side, it's Irete. If you're lucky enough to have been initiated into Ifa, Irete means, hey, do your Ifa work. Get it done. Nothing extraordinary, just get your work done. If you're not initiated into Ifa, then what you want to do is to take those implements you're familiar with. Maybe it's your guardian ancestor. Maybe it's your ancestors in general, which you don't need any help for. Maybe it's your Ori. All those kinds of things you can work with to get positive results. And nicely enough, the reading was Ire. On path, right here. It was a long shot, but there it was. And it was Oturupan, Ofun. That's a sign of good character in your temporal side, and using wisdom and knowledge in your emotional spiritual side, that ultimately designated this as Ire. But that's a long shot, because you look at that cast, you think, oh my, the second cast is certainly going to be higher than that. It wasn't. So it has to do with success, and that's always a good thing. And this is very, very strong for success. It's Obara on the temporal side, doing your everyday Ifa work. For a male Babalao, it's be more assertive. For female Babalao, it's be more assertive. And for a non-initiate, it's also to be more assertive. Now, that's not, to be antagonistic, and it's not to, it's assertiveness is a way of insisting in good character that you get what it is that you want when you want it. And the Obi, of course, is endless opportunities. What's involved there? Pick the right opportunities. You have to pick the right opportunities. You have to think now. We're in 2014. This is a year that these kinds of decisions are going to be critically important. So before you snatch at that opportunity, think about the long-term implications. Think about how it impacts you, your family, the people that you love, the planet you live on, all of those things before you make your decision. And who is the Orisha for this? It's Oshun, and that's why she's speaking on the temporal side to begin with. And Oshun would like fruit. Now that's two things. That's one, an indication that this has to do with children in some ways. This is about perhaps regathering the family, or getting the family closer together, or getting our extended family together. It's about repairing, in a sense, the long-term damage that this society has done to those values which are really important. The second thing is, you just take some fruit. It's nice, by the way, if it could be orangish or yellowish in color, but it's not necessary. You can take some bananas or some oranges or something like that, place it in front of Oshun, light a tea candle or any candle that you have, as long as it's white, and pray to Oshun, for the wisdom and the knowledge to continue on this path of success for you and for your family. I think that's the criteria here. I think that's the the major spell that you have to cast on yourself to remember, is that this is indeed success, but that success has been redefined now in the year 2014 because it has to do not just with us, but with our family, those we love, those we care for, and the planet we live on. Until next week, love and blessings.